Wow. I'm so happy that I'm not the next speaker after that. And now for our next speaker. We were all joking at our table that by coincidence, we all listened to our CD in our car. So it was interesting to know that. I'm so honored that we're able to do this cooperation with the World Jewish Congress. The World Jewish Congress has been our partner from the beginning. They're a strategic partner. Anytime we go to another country, anytime we work in another government, we want the Jewish community to be involved as well as the Christian community. And it's important to have both, to stand united. And we wouldn't be able to do that without the World Jewish Congress. And we always joke as my partner in crime because I work with the Christians, he works with the Jews, but he's really been a pleasure to work with Sam Grundwerg, the Director General of the World Jewish Congress in Israel. So please give him a good welcome.
Thank you, Josh. Regina, that was really beautiful. I had the pleasure of hearing Regina sing for the first time a few years ago in Moscow, and a very special event that we had, the World Jewish Congress and the Knesset Christian Allies Caucus. And I do have your CD in my car. And I can tell you're all very lucky that I was asked to speak tonight and not to sing. I was actually going to sing, but now that I have to go, I think I'll speak instead. Thank you and good evening. I'm very excited to be here and welcome you on behalf of the World Jewish Congress as a co-host of this event for the 10th annual Night to Honor Our Christian Allies. It's really quite a milestone to reach our 10th year. It's a fantastic event, and I've personally had the privilege to be part of 6 of these events, the last 6 years, and I can really say that it's become bigger and better each year. It may not be exactly the same as marking, say, the 50th NFL Super Bowl, but it's always held at just about the same time of year, and I think it's pretty close. Josh wasn't listening, but I promised him that I would get a Super Bowl reference in there. Let me take just a moment to acknowledge our partners and co-hosts tonight. Josh Reinstein, as he mentioned, partner in crime, director of the Knesset Christian Allies Caucus, chairman of the Knesset Christian Allies Caucus, member of Knesset Robert Dilatov, deputy chairman, member of Knesset Yoel Chasson, other members of Knesset here from the caucus, Yaakov Margi, Miki Levy, Michael Oren, Yoav Ben-Sur. I'd also like to acknowledge Izzy Liebler, honorary vice president of the World Jewish Congress, and his wife. Shai Hermesh, chairman of the World Jewish Congress Israel, my friend and mentor, and the World Jewish Congress Israel board members, Ambassador Paltzur. It's great to have you here. I want to recognize and thank from the Knesset Christian Allies Caucus and from the World Jewish Congress, Renee and Leah and Oranit for all of their hard work in putting together this evening. I want to acknowledge also the representatives here of the Ministry of Tourism and also from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, my friend Akiva Tor from the Bureau Head of World Jewish Affairs and World Jewish Religions, and also in the back, Sharon Regev. Hello, Sharon. Sharon is the new director of the Department of World Religions, and Sharon, we wish you much success in your new role at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As Josh mentioned, we want to wish a speedy recovery and our prayers and blessings and prayers for a speedy recovery for our dear friend from the ICEJ, Dr. Jürgen Buehler. Our thoughts are with him, and we're very encouraged to hear the good, encouraging words that he's doing better and getting stronger, and our prayers are with him. And of course, tonight's honorees, Jay Rawlings and Duke Westover, congratulations. And all of you are dear distinguished guests. I bring with me from the World Jewish Congress President Ronald Lauder, and on behalf of the Jewish communities around the world that we represent in 100 countries, blessings, greetings, and congratulations to our dear honorees, and to all of you for being here. I will not go into detail in all of your many achievements as they'll be mentioned during your award presentations, but we salute you for your leadership and for your work in support of Israel. For the World Jewish Congress, our partnership with the Knesset Christian Allies Caucus is an important and strategic one. The concept of faith-based diplomacy and a model of local, grassroots, community, religious leadership impacting political leadership for support of Israel is a natural fit for the WJC as the global Jewish organization that engages in diplomatic efforts to support Israel and to protect those Jewish communities around the world that we represent. I don't have to go into detail and explain much to this audience about the many serious threats facing Israel, whether it's the physical threats of Iran or some of our more immediate neighbors, or whether in political, diplomatic arenas, the double standard, unfair singling out of Israel, or the threats of isolation and boycott of the international community. Those that we are honoring tonight, and the many friends that you represent, are not silent on these issues. The very essence of this gathering and this annual event is to recognize, acknowledge, and to say thank you. But what exactly are we saying thank you for? For leadership. But what is leadership? Well, we don't have to look very far. We don't have to look further than our biblical sources for an answer on this. The original role model and paradigm for us as a leader is Moses. Moses not only as the leader of the Jewish people, but as the example and personification of leadership for all mankind. Moses' leadership expressed itself in the idea that silence and inaction in the face of evil and injustice is evil itself. There's no better lesson in history on this than what we marked yesterday with the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Leadership is the opposite of indifference. Moses saw injustice and he acted out and he fought for freedom and justice in the world. He believed in intervention and action when necessary. Among many others, there are three main examples that we can point to. The first is when Moses saw an Egyptian hitting a Jew and he intervened. This represented external threats against his own people. The next example is when he saw two Jews fighting and he stepped in, representing internal fighting. And the third example is when Moses witnessed the Midianite shepherds harassing the daughters of Jethro, and he once again took action. This was an injustice and external threat against someone else's people, and he stepped in. In all of these examples, Moses did not just mind his own business, look the other way, and say that it wasn't his problem. But rather, he did not hesitate to interfere, and he acted out in the face of the injustice and in the face of a threat to freedom. And this is why he merited to become the leader of the Jews, to take them out of Egypt, deliver them the Torah, and to become the greatest prophet of all time. Now, where did he learn this critical trait? From a non-Jew, from the daughter of Pharaoh, his adopted mother Batya, who pulled him from the Nile River out of the basket. The verse says that she had compassion for him. Well, I think it's wholly appropriate and fitting to recall this biblical source and paradigm of leadership at this gathering tonight. To the honorees tonight, we recognize these attributes of leadership in your great work. And to all the righteous and brave Christian leaders that are here in the room tonight, and to the many that are affiliated with you and that you represent around the world, because all of you here are leaders in one way or another. We applaud you for standing up against injustice and for not being silent and for not being indifferent. It takes moral clarity and courage, and it's based on our shared Judeo-Christian values. You continue to fight the lies and speak the truth. We know that it only takes a very little bit of light, which represents truth, in order to push away a lot of darkness, the lies. And all of you are out there spreading that light. You fight the untrue claims that Israel is an apartheid, illegitimate state that violates human rights, commits crimes against humanity, and you continue to speak the truth in the face of these lies. Just the other day, the Secretary General of the United Nations dangerously gave excuses for and justified terrorism and the murder of Jews by saying that the Palestinian violence that we're currently suffering from is a natural reaction to Israel's deeds. This blames Israel for the deeds of murderers rather than condemning Palestinian incitement. This statement was made by someone who's supposed to be the leader of the international community, and he excuses the inexcusable. It is for statements exactly like this that your leadership is needed. Your courageous voices must be heard to counterbalance such injustice. You continue to speak out and support and protect Israel and talk about how Israel does want peace and is the only true democracy in the Middle East and the only country in the region that has true freedom of speech, true freedom of press, a vibrant and open media, freedom of religion, religious practice, and religious tolerance, women's rights, rule of law, and regularly scheduled elections where losers actually accept the outcome. We salute you all for your work in support of Israel. May God give you the strength to continue to emulate the Moses-like attributes of leadership by speaking out, taking action, and intervening for what is just and true, even if it's not always the most popular position to take. God bless tonight's honorees. God bless all of you, and God bless the state of Israel.